Welcome to SGT Explainer. I am Utkarsha Sharma. Today we'll discuss the RBI's announcement that it will maintain the current repo rate. What does freezing of repo rate means and what are its possible impacts? Only a few days after most central banks across the world raised interest rates to combat increasing inflation, the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, surprised everyone by keeping the main repo rate steady. All 6 members of the RBI's Monetary Policy Committee voted unanimously to maintain the repo rate at 6.50%, interrupting a cycle of 6 straight rises since May 2022, and stunning experts who had projected another rate hike. While the MPC chose to maintain the rate steady, RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das stated that the door was open for future action if necessary. The RBI's action contradicts the ordinary course of events since major central banks such as the US Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, ECB, and others have lately raised interest rates to combat increasing inflation. Despite calls to halt amid the looming financial crisis, the US Federal Reserve raised its benchmark interest rate by 25 basis points on March 22. The ECB had raised rates by 50 basis points just a few days ago, despite market pressure from falling bank stocks. Many other countries' central banks also raised interest rates, citing stubbornly rising inflation. However, the RBI decided to take a break from the current course of events. This is because most central banks across the world are still in tightening mode, citing a variety of concerns ranging from ongoing geopolitical tensions to a looming global financial catastrophe. The global economy has entered a new period of turbulence with the new headwinds from banking sector turmoil in some advanced economies. Bank failures and contagion risks have highlighted financial stability concerns, said Shaktikanta Das. Given the persistence of inflation, central banks continue to tighten monetary policy, albeit at a slower pace. Global inflation has moderated in recent months, but the path to the target is proving to be long and arduous, Das added. Shaktikanta Das, explaining the MPC's policy decisions, stated that even while the global economic outlook confronts significant headwinds, the headline inflation continues over central banks' objectives. India's banking and non-banking financial service sector remains robust. The RBI governor emphasized that Indian financial markets have evolved orderly and the economic activity has remained resilient. He also stated that the real GDP growth in 2022 to 23 is likely to reach 7%. In the coming years, headline inflation is expected to moderate. The effects of monetary policy initiatives conducted since May 2022 are still being felt in the system. As a result, the MPC decided to hold the policy rate steady to assess progress while closely monitoring the developing inflation forecast. The MPC will not hesitate to take additional action as needed in future meetings, Das stated. Das stated that after raising the policy repo rate by 250 basis points in the previous 11 months, it is now necessary to evaluate the cumulative impact of these rate hikes. Under these conditions, we must exercise extreme caution in our actions. We have always been very vigilant and have taken a calibrated and balanced approach, which we will continue to do, he added. The RBI governor further stated that CPI inflation was about 2% when the central bank began the rate-cutting cycle in February 2019 to stimulate growth, and the policy repo rate was 6.50%. The situation has shifted dramatically with the policy rate at 6.50% and inflation at 6.4%. Overall, inflation is above target, and at its current level, the current policy rate can be considered accommodative. As a result, the MPC chose to focus on the removal of accommodation, Das stated. The RBI's decision to end the rate hiking cycle has startled a few economists and analysts. Bandhan Bank's chief economist and head of research, Siddharth Sanyal, said that RBI's surprise delay in the repo rate in April was perfectly predictable. With CPI expected to fall to the low to mid 5% range in the coming month, the current repo rate of 6.5% implies that India's real policy rate will hover around 1% during 2023 to 24, while maintaining a policy rate differential of about 1.5% with the US. This aided the decision to delay the repo rate, Sanyal explained. It was important for the RBI to leave the policy rate at a level that can be kept unchanged for a long time rather than hiking rates aggressively now and building pressure to cut it only in a few months, he added. However, Jaideep Arora, CEO of Sharekhan by BNP Paribas, stated that the RBI's action was counter to predictions of a 25 basis point increase in the policy repo rate. The Reserve Bank of India has decided to pause interest rate hike at this time. However, it has left the door open for additional interest rate action based on incoming economic data and developments in the global macro picture, he added. Based on the RBI's policy decision and commentary on economic growth and stability, we remain positive on equity markets and expect interest rates sensitive sector like real estate, auto, banks, financials and engineering capital goods to lead the rally in the near to medium term, Arora said. According to Achala Jethmalani, economist at RBL Bank, the RBI's policy decision looked to be at hawkish pause as the MCB becomes data reliant and waits for previous rates rise to be reflected in deposit and lending rates. With the RBI governor stating that today's policy rate pause is only for this policy, it has the leeway to act on rates in inflation readings surprise to upside. Based on the current growth inflation dynamics and the global environment, the repo rate is expected to peak at 6.50 to 6.75% with the final 25 basis point in the given first edge fiscal year 24, Jethmalani said. That's all for today in SGT Times Explainer. Thanks for watching.